Hi guys, no time for mucking about. We've really got to motivate. I promised you 3 videos a day. Damn me and my promises. And it's 23:46, so I've got 14 minutes to get this out if I'm to keep my word. And you know me, I don't like to break my word. So what are we looking at here? Well, you're looking at a map of the Normandy landings on D-Day, June the 6th, 1944. Over on the other side of the screen, you see my father. That was taken when he was 17. He just joined the army. Well, my father landed on Sword Beach. Yeah, so if you have a look at Sword on the screen, follow the line down between Peter and Queen to Lyon-sur-Mer. That's where my father landed. Well, he fought his way inland, and the target was Caen. This was for the battle for Caen. And he was advancing towards Caen, but further south, before the Red German resistance lines at Benneville, well, that was as far as my father got. He took a burst from I think it was a Spandau machine gun that badly wounded him. During that action, one of his comrades was awarded the military medal. Now everybody gets the military cross, but in those days, lower ranks had medals, officers' crosses. So his comrade was awarded a military medal, and my father was mentioned in dispatches for his actions, and his name is in the London Gazette, mentioned in dispatches. Sadly, I lost the little oak leaf that you could pin on a medal ribbon to show that you'd been awarded, that you'd been mentioned in dispatches. Do you know, I'm so young, I never asked him about just what it was he had done. And there were so many people I could have asked, but I just didn't think about it at the time. Well, imagine this, guys. This is what my father saw on the morning of June the 6th. Landing barge. Imagine that, guys. Running up running out of one of those through the water up to a beach under fire. Your comrades fall into your left and your right. And then when you get there, you've got to fight inland. Oh, brave man. I think they were better men then than we are now. Right. So you might wonder where this is going. Well, we'll get there, I promise you. Just stick with me. Later on in life, I'll now tell you about the club and my father's meeting with the Germans. Okay? This is taken in an Antiglo Workmen's Club. They've knocked it down now. Now's the pity. If you have a look at the photograph, at the back, towards the right, there's a guy making a face. That's my late brother. He was one hell of a character and he died very young. Pity, he was quite talented. He could paint, write, he was athletic. Life can be cruel. Now, which one is my father, you ask? Well, can you guess? It's the one laughing the loudest at the front with his arms pointed towards the air. That's my father. One hell of a character. I bet the landlords of every single pub in South Wales met him at one time or another. He really knew how to live life. The guy to his right, not the one in the middle, but the one with the cigarette in his left hand, is my late Uncle Jim. And he was another character. That was my father's younger brother. And he was a character, a bit of a rogue, bit of a ladies' man. But I tell you what, when he died with style. We had a call early in the morning, just before the end. So we rushed to the hospital. Must have been about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. It was just before the end, and we got in. We gathered around, my father, myself, and my Uncle Jim's son. He's not in the photograph. And Uncle Jim, look at the smile. I can picture him now. He opened his eyes and he looked up and he said to my father, he said, "What time is it, Ken?" My father told him, and he said, oh, fuck, you must be serious if you're here at this time in the morning. And he didn't say much more and he passed on. He died with style. Uh, I laugh when I think about it. Now, have a look at those men in that photograph. I must have been, I was still in the Navy then. I'd come home on leave, and this was taken in the club on a Sunday morning. Have a look at the way the men are dressed. Ties, suits. Even I would wear a suit down the club on a Sunday morning. I don't know, they seem to be better times. Have a look at the men. They were always like that. Maybe it was because they were out of the house, and we knew that we'd have a couple of pints and then go home to our Sunday dinners, you know. But they are enjoying themselves. They're happy. Don't seem to see people laughing as naturally as that. Of course, after a couple of pints, they'd all start singing. Ah, and I used to get a bit embarrassed because I didn't know half the songs that they were singing. But boy, could they sing. And if you sang a good song, the club would give you beer tokens. My father's favourite song that would always get us 6 tokens, 6 pints of beer, was Whispering Grass, and he could sing it beautifully. So we always knew that when we done down the club, we'd get get some free beer because Dad would get up and sing. Well, what's that got to do with the Normandy Landings? I told you my father paid no animosity towards the Germans. One day, some Germans visited the club. What they were doing up the top of a Welsh valley, I've no idea, but I can remember it now. The guy standing on the far right, his name was Tommy Tibbs. He was the chairman of the club. He introduced the Germans to my father, and my father shook this German's hand, and a very distinguished looking German. And my father shook his hand, and the German said, "Pleased to meet you." And my father said, "I'm pleased to meet you too." He said, "You know," he said, "the last German I met," and German, "Yes," he said, my father said, "I shot him." The club erupted into laughter, and my father and the German got completely slaughtered. It was a great day, and some good songs. Anyhow, now, why? Where is this going? Well, round about that time in the club, I'll get rid of that for now, moved out the way. And we'll move this out of the way. Round about that time, I asked my father, who you must remember was born and bred in Wales, a place called Nantiglow, just up from Blaena. He had a tattoo on his left arm, and it was of the Union flag. And I said to him, "Dad, I just noticed," because you sometimes really never notice your family. I'd seen that tattoo so many times, but I'd never thought to ask him why a Welshman had a tattoo of a Union Jack on his arm. So I did. I thought, well, I'll ask him, "Dad, why have you got a tattoo of a Union Jack on your arm?" And he said, "Well, it's because what I believe in, Paul." He said, "The Welsh, the Scots, the Northern Irish, and the English," he said, "united," he said, "nobody can beat us. Nobody." He said, "So I'm a unionist and I believe in the union." Well, could I be anything else but a unionist myself? I believe in the union. I fought against the Welsh Assembly. Actually, most of the people didn't want it. We had it. The ballot was rigged. Long story short, I'll give you the details on that another time. So I'm a unionist. I believe in the union. I believe that there is no finer nation in the world than Great Britain. And when people say, "Oh, a British Pakistani," no such thing. There's a Pakistani who can be a British citizen, but they can never be British. The only people who can be British are the Welsh, Scots, uh, Irish, and English. Okay, we are unique people. We're diverse enough. We don't need any more. So don't let anyone tell you, like Keir Starmer said the other day, that a Pakistani person can be English, or a coloured person can be English, or Welsh, or in Wales, as they try to tell us, that a Somalian who lives here is as Welsh as me. That's bullshit, and you know it. But at any rate, that was what my father told me. He believed in the union, and the world should remember that. Now, let's take a look at what we're talking about, shall we? Just get rid of that. There. That's our flag, boys. The Union Jack. Well, actually, it's the Union flag, and it's only called the Union Jack when it's flown on the front masthead of a warship. That's why it's called the Union Jack. It's named for landlubbers. It's the Union flag, border warship at the front, Union Jack. Now, the world sometimes like to refer to our flag as the butcher's apron. Yeah, well, maybe, maybe not. But if it is a butcher's apron, they should remember this, that the British, they are slow to anger, but when they do, they can be deadly. I mean, our little nation, made up of Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and England, has kicked the butt of most of the countries in the world at one time or another. And they tend to forget that. But I think the time is coming to remind them just how bloody minded the British can be when their back is against the wall. And our back is almost against the wall now, guys. So there you go. So be you Irish, Welsh, Scottish, English. We're all brothers in this fight now. So be like my father, a Welshman, proud to wear that, proud to have that flag tattooed on his arm. Believe in it. I won't betray his memory and hand this country over to them. I'd rather salt every field and burn every building down. Okay, guys, that's enough. Oh, 2 minutes to midnight. I made it. Thank you. You've been listening to Paul Morris, voice of the British resistance. See you on the beach, but not that beach. Okay, see you tomorrow. Good night.